The Appointed Times and Yahusha's Redemption Plan. Article by Lou White. Abib, ripe grain harvest, first month of year. Exodus chapter 12, verse 2. Sunset, April 8th, through sunset, April 9th, year 2024. First day of the first month, in spring of the new year. The sun is at or very near the equator. Plants are beginning to bud, the sign a new cycle has begun. Scripture mentions only summer and winter, Kayetz and Koref. Pesach, memorial of Yahusha's death. Sunset, April 21st, beginning of 14th day of the first month, a preparation day for the first day of Matzah. Yahusha was impaled later during the daylight part of the 14th of the first month. He arranged a memorial with his Talmudim the evening before the arrival of the 14th. His blood made animal blood sacrifices obsolete. Yahusha is our Passover, one offering for all. On the 14th day of the first month, between the evenings, is the Passover to Yahuwah. See Leviticus chapter 23, verse 5. Pesach is often used as a general term describing the entire period, including the 7 days of Matzah. Our lamb was slain on the 14th day of the first month. Matzah, unleavened bread for 7 days. We rest from all servile work on first and the last day of the first day. On the full moon, we rest from servile work. Sunset, April 22nd, through sunset, April 23rd, of the year 2024. On the 15th day of this month is the festival of Matzah to Yahuwah. 7 days you eat unleavened bread. See Leviticus chapter 23, verse 6. Leaven signifies men's teachings, which we throw out from our thinking, preparing us to receive the good seed of Torah 50 days later at Shavuot. We also commemorate our deliverance from Egyptian slavery and death of all unsealed firstborn males of men and animals. The Passover was eaten on this night, the beginning of the 15th of the first month, a night of vigil for the slaying of the firstborn, and the great deliverance of Yisrael from Mitzrayim, from the land of slavery. For 7 days, all Yisrael is to abstain from leavened bread. This applies to all immersed believers. The first fruits, shadow of the resurrection, April 28th, 2024. On the morrow after the weekly Shabbath during Matzah, Yahusha presented himself as the first fruits, around 9 a.m. Tradition insists that first fruits will always be Abib 16th. The count to Shavuot, 7 times 7 complete weeks, and this is determined from the first fruits. The wave sheaf, called Bikram, was fulfilled by Yahusha when he resurrected. During the festival of Matzah, unleavened bread, the high priest waved the first fruits of the barley harvest on the morrow after the Sabbath. Yahusha became the wave sheaf offering because the resurrection was the object, and the wave sheaf was predicting it. 7th day of Matzah, 21st day of the first month. Sunset, April 28th, to sunset, April 29th, year 2024. The 7 days of Matzah, 21st day of the first month, sunset, from April 28th to sunset, April 29th, 2024. This is a rest day from all servile work. The last day of Matzah commemorates the passing through water of Israel and the drowning of the armies of Pharaoh. Read Song of Moshe, Exodus chapter 15. Shavuot, a Hebrew word meaning weeks, is the 50th day, a rest day. From sunset June 15th to sunset June 16th, 2024. Shavuot commemorates the giving of Torah at Sinai, the wedding anniversary for Yahuwah and Yisrael. The 10 Commandments are read. This covenant is our marriage. From the morrow after the weekly Shabbath, during Matzah, we count 7 intact, true weeks to the morrow after the 7th Shabbath, the morrow being the 50th day, always falling on the first day of the week. Shabuah means week. The Yahudim calculate from Abib 16 in their count to Shavuot. Yet we know Yahusha was in the tomb on Abib 16th and had not yet resurrected as first fruits, or the wave sheath. Abib 16th is first fruits, traditionally called Pentecost, Greek for count 50, fulfilled as recorded at Acts 2, when Torah was written on the hearts of the Natsarim, renewing the covenant, restoring us to favor with Yahuwah through the indwelling of Yahusha's Spirit. It is not a birthday, it is a wedding anniversary. Even the stork in the sky knows her appointed seasons. See Yirmiyahu, chapter 8, verse 7. These next festivals are shadows of things to come for the body of Mashiach. These are unfulfilled shadows ahead. Yom Teruah, which is a day of rest, the first day of the 7th month, from sunset, October 2nd, through sunset, October 3rd. Yom Teruah, day of shout. We hear a shofar blown, shadow of the last trumpet. The coming day of the resurrection of the dead, when the voice of the great messenger will shout like a trumpet. This is the final warning of the coming of the harvest of earth by the reapers, described at Yule 2, Matthew 24, Yeshayahu 24, and Psalm 91. Yom Kippur, also a day of rest. The 10th day of the 7th month, sunset October 11th through sunset October 12th. Yom Kippur is the day of covering. See Acts chapter 17, Psalm 91, and Yule 2. This foreshadows the day of Yahuwah. Those sealed with the name of Yahuwah are redeemed, listed in the book of remembrance. Malachi chapter 3, verse 16. This is the redemption of the living that follows the raising of the dead. The first fruits, or the wheat, who are alive at the return, will be changed in the wink of an eye, as the reapers remove the weeds by fire. Sukkoth, day of rest, 15th day of the 7th month, from sunset October 16th through sunset October 17th. See Leviticus chapter 23, verse 33. Dwelling in tents or booths reminds us of Israel living in tents for 40 years. But it looks forward to the consummation of the wedding feast at the return of Yahusha HaMashiach on the day of Yahuwah, following the Great Tribulation and the judgment of the unrighteous. Yahusha was born on the first day of Sukkoth in a temporary dwelling. The closing day of this festival is also a rest day. See Leviticus chapter 23, verse 36. Sunset October 22nd through sunset October 23rd. The 22nd day of the 7th month. Last great day. Yahusha was circumcised on the 8th day after his birth, and this 8th day looks forward to a renewed creation where righteousness dwells. All hearts will be circumcised with a love for Torah. Quote, "Let no man therefore judge you in meat, or in drink, or in respect of a festival, or of the new moon, or of the Sabbath days, which are a shadow of things to come for the body of Mashiach." See Colossians chapter 2, verse 16 through 17. See also Isaiah chapter 8, verse 20. Some people follow new calendars, Enochian, creation, and interpretations involving sighted moons using crescents, being influenced by other religions. Several lunar calendars have also appeared. To unite with the older brother, we trust they know how weeks and festivals work, since there's been no change since Yahusha walked among us. Here at TorahInstitute, we distribute Orthodox Hebrew calendars. Hebrew calendars from TorahInstitute preserve the true 7-day weeks. Being designed by fallible men, these calendars will use certain inappropriate words such as the name of the month of Tammuz. Because they don't recognize the sign of Yuna, they consistently calculate the count to Shabuath from Abib 16th, rather than the Shabbath of the week of Matzah. What a moon is and what a month is. Shabuath, Pentecost. There are 50 days between the resurrection of Yahusha and the outpouring of his Spirit on the day of Shabuath, the resurrection fulfilled by the first fruits, Bikurim, and 7 complete weeks later he came into the Natsarim on Shabuath. The sign of Yuna. Yahusha was cut off from the living, fulfilling the Passover. The 3 days and 3 nights he was in the tomb validated his teaching authority, which he gave as the sign of Yuna. On the first day of the week, during the 7th-day period of Matzah, his body became the real wave sheaf offering, the Bikurim, the firstborn from the dead. His resurrection was the reality, and the wave sheaf was the shadow. See Uikra, chapter 23, verse 15 through 16. It tells us to count up the 7 complete weeks to the morrow after the 7th Shabbath, 50 days. A real week, Shabuah, is the 7-day period never broken since creation, not just any grouping of 7 days. The count of 7 weeks to Shabuah means the first day of the week, from the morrow after the Shabbath during Matzah, which is Bikurim, the Hebrew word for first fruits, and the same word for firstborn. A child is metaphorically fruit. The morrow after the 7th Shabbath is the 50th day, also commemorating the giving of the Torah at Sinai, our marriage covenant, and we are to obey our husband. This day is called Shabuath, or weeks. Christians inherited it as Pentecost, a Greek word meaning 50th day. Yahusha is the bread of life, and on Shabuath, his life joined to the minds of his followers in such a way that they receive the power to guard and teach his Torah. He writes a love for Torah on the hearts of all who obey him. See Acts chapter 5, verse 32. We are his witnesses that he is Elohim. See Yeshayahu, Isaiah chapter 43, verse 12. This is your invitation to the wedding feast. Engraft into Yisrael by following the way of Yahusha HaMashiach. Yahuwah's appointments are shadows of things to come for his body, his redemption plan. Read Matthew chapter 22. Thank you for listening. If you would like more information on this subject or to order one of our calendars, please visit TorahZone.net.